Dragons. I'm David Brown here with Ryan Graham.
Hey, y'all.
Did I get robot voice?
You were muted.
Oh,
hello.
Weird.
For the first part.
And Tim Thurber.
Hello.
And this is State of Atlanta. Excellent. All right. So we just finished talking the big news. Like this never happens. We actually have big, huge news on the day we're recording. We got the finally got the Georgia State Collective, and we just talked to Mike and Gabe about that. That was
well, and Mike was the worst about this like dropping news on Wednesdays. Like when he was involved, it was his fault most of the time. He used to joke with us about like shit's gonna drop on Wednesday.
Which I guess that's their news cycle or whatever. But maybe I guess with the Thursday game this week, they wanted to get out a little bit earlier. But yeah, check that out. We'll have that as our interview that comes out after this episode. But it was a good time, and it's huge news for Georgia State to be able to finally have this in play, to be able to get that started and start paying players.
I mean, our players are getting paid. I mean, like that. They alluded in the interview to some of the players that already have some clothing deals, and I'm sure there's other stuff. I remember Sam Pinckney got money from Sam's Club just for being named Sam.
Someone had Arby's, right? I think.
Yeah, running back. I think Arby's gave money to one running back on every team, like that first year, RB, a running back, roast beef, that whole thing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense. But yeah, it's cool. Although I did see something. I don't know if this is just a booster being complaining about. This was a Oklahoma State guy, because USA. We can talk about the other conference games later on. But USA just put like a death grip on Oklahoma State this weekend. Beat them. I think it was like 33-7 or something.
It was bad. I didn't expect that at all.
And some booster commented that they were paying that quarterback $500,000 for this kind of result, and I was like, I hope you're joking that you're actually paying the Oklahoma State. If Oklahoma State's playing their quarterback $500,000, we need everyone to dump their life savings into the all blue, all NIL.
Drain your 401k and just give it to the collective. That's all you got to do. Jeez, $500K? No way.
Some people just throw numbers out there. They don't know. There's no like public listing of like where these student athletes are getting money from and all that stuff. It's all.
It may not be public, but the IRS will figure it all out.
Oh yeah, no, I mean all that definitely, and honestly, like it's all discoverable because hopefully they're using their name, image, and likeness in a public setting, and that's what they're getting paid for. But it could just be cash.
I thought these were just private back rooms with cases of cash. No,
I mean there's probably some of that going on.
Yeah,
I mean, but like there always was.
Right now it's allowed.
Now it's sanctioned. Yeah, they moved the room up.
Yeah, exactly. Which I think makes sense, because if you make something illegal, it still happens. It just happens illegally.
Oh yeah.
So yeah,
I remember reading an article about Auburn's bagmen, and it was just like really big, long, like this is how it works. And they have had examples. They had family members of former players like come out and be like, this is what happened. This is who came to our house. This is the amount of money that we received, and how it all went down. And I was like, oh man, this is interesting.
We've all seen Johnny Be Good and Blue Chips. We know how the money flows through.
Yeah,
I'm sure that there's other movies that talk about it. No, I mean, like Ryan, you posted that. You're the one that told me about it today. Posted in our group. I was blown away. Ben and Coach Elliott had alluded to something coming in the past, but I just felt like it was like a baseball stadium. Yeah, sure, it's coming. We'll see it any day now. It'll just be there. But bam, there it was.
It was crazy to hear how it's been like under review and progression since like what do you say last year? Like so they were working on this for a long time.
Yeah,
which is great.
Yeah.
None of us knew at all.
And you've got the best combination, because like we joked about doing it ourselves. I actually kind of did some research on how to do it, but I see what people are doing, but I don't know. I just don't. This is not my strength of expertise. But now you've got Mike Holmes, former director of communications for Georgia State for, the better part of not the better part of, for 25 years. His connections with Georgia State run very, very deep. He has talked to so many players and coaches and alum and boosters over the years, just through his job. And then yet Gabe, an actual athlete, student athlete, played for 4 years, graduated got his undergrad in 3 years, went to law school. Now he's an attorney in Atlanta. I mean, you've got that combination of an attorney to make sure everything's on the up and up, and then the communications guy that just knows how to roll with this kind of stuff. This is a recipe for absolute success. It could not have gotten it. If we would have done it, it would have burned and failed like immediately.
Totally.
Just like our flag fundraiser. And then our baseball fundraiser.
Look, I warned y'all about the flags, okay?
That's just expensive. Jeez.
It was COVID. COVID happened, and they're like, all right, well, we don't
That's
need
not-
flags.
David, that's not why.
Yeah. Also, I'm really poor at execution. Really good at ideas though. That was actually Tim's idea.
I do get to see them when I go to Georgia games, and it is kind of cool to see the gigantic flags they have. So we should have something. Maybe
know
some
what?
there.
We're 3-0, baby. I don't care.
Let's
It's
talk
true.
about it.
Wave
Let's
a
talk
flag,
about
don't
it.
wave a flag. I don't give a shit. 3-0.
We put the hurt on Charlotte, like I said that we were going to do. I don't recall. I think we all called for the win. Tim, you actually gave an actual score, and yours was like in the 30 something to 20
38-24.
You were right there. You were right there. You were off by a total of 4 points between the two. I like it. It was a good time. We went down. We found our new home watch party bar, Manny's at Grant Park. Small turnout because it was a last minute kind of deal, but they have a back room over there for the people that watched the Sun Belt Championship with us a couple of years ago. It's the same place. It's a great setup. It's ours to ourselves. Manny said that we can have it for all the games this season.
6 TVs, so Georgia State on all of them. If we have like one game we need to watch or something, we can put that in the back corner or something.
If it's on ESPN Plus, we can only have 2 TVs on Georgia State, but we can put other games on.
This Thursday we're ESPN though, so
the ESPN, it'll all be
all of them on us.
Thursday it'll be all Georgia State. So that was good. What do you guys think of the game?
Looked like a bowl game from a year or two ago.
Is this Ball State we're playing?
I don't know. I mean, honestly, looking backwards at the last time we played Charlotte, it was similar. Like Granger threw all over them in the last game, which we didn't win, but he did. It was like he had 400 something yards in the last game.
Yeah, we scored
400 something yards in this game. Yes.
We scored one more point last time.
I like watching like what I'm used to watching for Georgia State is that we'll play like a bad team, and for whatever reason they just like stay in it. And I feel like we'll even be playing like decent, but just like there's a couple of like missed plays here and there. But like for this game, we were pretty confident throughout. I mean, it was a little bit like, hey, stop letting them do anything. Why are they able to do anything? But like it wasn't ever like scary, except for like the normal Georgia State scary stuff.
The third quarter, yeah.
It wouldn't have been scary if it was any other team.
Right. Except it's us.
Yeah.
Well, I think it was really that we got comfortable that we were in control of this game, and it was 40 something yard punt return for a touchdown that kind of got them back. And they weren't back in. I think the closest they got was 8, maybe 9 points to what our score was. Right. But I did, in doing my research for this, that was the first punt return for a touchdown in Charlotte program history. And
hey, it happens.
It only took
they'll always have Albert Wilson, and they'll always have whoever.
Judge, something I forget what his name was, but it only took them 11 years, 12 years. How many years? It took Albert Wilson 11 games.
Right. Yeah. The funny thing is, I was in Athens for the Georgia game, and it was 34-10. I was like, all right, let's go get food. I'll watch the game on my phone, or if the bar has it, we're going to, not likely. And then we walk somewhere, and by the time we walk there, it's 34-25. I'm like, oh shit, here we go. I got to go back to the hotel stat. This is
So watching it was different, but I could understand where that would be. Just oh no, not again.
No, I remember our group chat blowing up, and someone saying, "Weren't we up 24 points 3 minutes ago?"
Yeah, they scored like what? It was the 58-yard run, and then the punt return right after that.
Yeah,
it was like 2 quick scores. Didn't even know they happened because we were walking somewhere, and then I look at my phone. I'm like, huh? What? And then we scored, so I felt better. I relaxed a little bit. But
that's one of the articles I was reading. I think it was actually from a Charlotte source, and they were talking about how whenever Charlotte did something happen, it did not matter because Georgia State would immediately respond, and typically by a deep throw by Granger for something, and
on the money.
Robert Lewis looking amazing. Make me say Sam Pinkney who?
Yeah. No, it would be nice to have both of them.
It'd be fantastic. to have both of them.
Can you imagine?
And Thrash, whatever the hell Thrash is doing up there.
Granger's doing Thrash, Pickney, and Robert Lewis all on the same. Yeah, I think that may have been hurting Granger because he has too many options. Like let's let him focus on one or two guys.
That's why his completion percentage was down. There's too many options. He couldn't make his mind up, and by the time he did, it was overthrown or underthrown.
But Danger Granger, man, making a case for a Heisman, like literally in like Heisman talk. I mean, like
I don't know how serious who was that person even?
I don't remember. I saw they were taking their top 10 in the Heisman watch, and
right.
Granger,
We were 10.
Granger was 10. Yeah. Bill Connolly also listed, he ranked his top undefeated teams at 3-0. And there's 39 of them. We clocked in at 39, but it's just happy to be acknowledged.
Made the list.
I'll take it.
All that matters.
One I did see was it ESPN that had like the best team of the week or something, and it was Granger was the QB and Lewis was a wide receiver on it.
And Lewis,
pretty good.
Lewis got a helmet sticker from College Game Day after everything was said and done too. So that's, I think someone made a point that that hasn't happened since Connor Manning was the last helmet sticker we had.
Wow.
Oh,
so,
and he was like, even keel.
Yeah, I think he's a grandfather now. He's so old. So
the bigger news is we had our first two field goals of the year.
I was so disappointed when we lined up for the field goal, but then I was like, but I can't root for us to miss it. That's wrong.
No, we're here now. We already lost the battle of not doing this, so now get it.
Yep. So we won on all three facets of the game. Is that what they say?
I guess. What was our average starting position during kickoff? I should look that up every year.
That is one of your passion points.
Yeah,
it's not my passion.
Did we take any fair catches? I don't remember.
I don't think we're doing that right now. I don't know. I usually am not watching at that point. I've usually that's like right when they catch the ball is about when I start tuning back in.
Yeah. So once the turnover on downs or whatever that turnover, once the turnover happens, that's when you go to the bathroom or refill the beer or do something, and you look up and like, oh, we're starting on this or we're starting on that. Yeah. I'm the same way. You got to pick your points when you can do it. We can refill the beer and everything.
Every time the ball touches a foot in football, there's a commercial. So,
yeah.
All right.
So on to Coastal.
Yeah.
Thursday night.
First prime time. ESPN proper.
Only game.
First conference game, one of only two conference matchups for the Sun Belt this week as well. Everyone else is still playing out of conference schedule.
Wow. Only game period though, right? On Thursday?
I think so.
Is that what somebody? I saw somebody say that somewhere, but I didn't double check it.
There are more games.
FBS game maybe. I feel like I want to say there was another game going on, but I could be lying about that. I tend to lie quite a bit, or make things up. I don't lie. I make things up. I don't know the truth. So
I read the thing and didn't verify it. So
what I say could be true. What I say could be true.
Only show in town. Everyone's gonna watch us. Everyone's gonna watch us beat Coastal on Thursday.
Yeah,
because that's how our history dictates. That
is McCall hurt yet?
Big moments. Georgia State's got it.
McCall is not hurt, but from what I was reading, with the new coaching staff, they've kind of changed of his gameplay, and he's not rushing at all. I think he's actually -2 yardage or +2 yardage on the ground, which takes away one of the threats, but the thing that we're not that good at is the secondary. So if he's just going to throw the ball the entire time, he could eat us up. No, maybe so.
I don't know. I'm excited to see McCall not used properly. That sounds great.
Yeah,
I mean, I think we'll probably pressure him so he makes some throwing mistakes, just like we did with Charlotte. So,
and if we know that they're not going to be running the ball, or we don't have to worry about him on the ground, that maybe makes it a little bit easier to pay attention to the passing game. It that way. I don't know about you guys. I'm just going to go to it. We win this game. We've never lost in Conway. I don't see any reason that's going to change. They're favored by a touchdown, but I think we win this game. I think it could be a shootout. I think we could see another high scoring game. I think was last time we played up there was a shootout.
Probably. I mean, and it depends on like, so like Stags is obviously going to be back where he's been playing for a long time, and who knows how that goes. But I don't think we're going to be counting on our defense for a ton. And I don't know if they are either. And I think you're probably right. It's going to be a high scoring game. And yeah, I think we win too. And partly because my whole thing on App State, right? Like, well, we haven't beaten them, so we're not going to beat them this year. Well, they haven't beaten us in Conway, so they're not going to beat us.
You got let Granger and Lewis do their thing. Hand the ball off to Marcus Carroll as often as he.
We got a lot of weapons.
I just don't see how we can't win this game. I really have all the confidence. I think that Coach Elliott has his team in the best position they've ever been in mentally and physically, especially with the new strength and conditioning coordinator coming in there. I feel good. I'm feeling excited. Which whenever this happens, I come crushing down on the Sunday morning.
Usually this is preseason feeling good though, and now we're like 3-0.
I feel like we have a lot of momentum going in this game, right? I mean, the team has to be feeling pretty good. This isn't like a Tennessee momentum where we try to lay eggs the games afterwards. Like these are 3 solid games we played. One of them a little shaky, but
yeah, you're talking about Rhode Island, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And I knocked that up just to
first game.
First game, and granted, you've got to be able to beat these teams when you play them. You got to beat the team that you're better than. But I just don't hold a lot of weight. If you take out the FCS games between Georgia State, us barely beating Rhode Island, and then Coastal beating the crap out of Duquesne or whatever the hell that team's name. I never heard of that before. I've never heard of that team name that they beat 66-3, which by the way, they pulled their starters at the halftime. So the entire all the starters got an entire only played half a game. They're got more rest than we did, but it was still a night game. Not that big of a difference. Still a short week for everybody. We just have the bus trip to get up to Conway. But you take out those FCS games and you look at our FBS matchups, our stats are comparable or we're better than them in almost everything. They own like a score advantage, but it's because of the FCS blowout they had and the close game we had. I like our chances here. And when we win this game, we will be the undisputed first place in the East. Because
always nice to have that, right?
No matter what happens, even if JMU wins their game, it's an out of conference win, and they're the only other 3-0 team in the division, and their win over a conference team was in the West. So our East win trumps their West win. So we win, we're first place in the division.
Is that how that works?
End the season. End the season.
Call it COVID year. Call it. Also, interestingly enough, every team in the East has a winning record.
All right. Yeah. I mean, we were always worried about, being in the East Division, just saying like it's a tough one. And the West is sort of out there doing whatever the hell they're doing right now.
Yeah. The West, I put it down. What is it?
Old Dominion though, they lost 2 games.
They have a winning record. No, they won. They won their other 2. Yep. Oh. Yeah. At least the stats I looked at were everybody had a winning. Everybody was 2-1 or 3-0. But in the West, Arkansas State, Southern Miss, and oddly enough, Troy are 1-2. So it's still decent over there on the West side. But the East Side is killing it.
I mean, Troy State was supposed to be like dominating, right? I had them winning a lot of games in my my preseason, whatever.
That was my pick for the West Division champion.
Yeah, I think I had them winning everything that wasn't like.
Well, they lost their P5 game, and they lost to JMU in a close one on Saturday.
Count, right? Because JMU doesn't count.
Lame.
Well, the losses still count. The wins and losses still count to them.
Oh, okay.
Although I will say that talking about JMU, looking at all this stuff on social media, it's amazing how many people still don't realize the JMU's ineligible for postseason play. They still show them in like bowl projections or winning the Sun Belt Conference. Like no, they can go undefeated. They're not gonna. They can go undefeated, and they're still going to not be in any postseason play.
I would have thought it was over by now, honestly.
It's 2 years. It's their second year here.
Why? Why 2 years? That doesn't make sense. I understand the first year. Why 2?
I don't understand why there's a penalty.
To move
Anyways,
up. I don't.
Right? Yeah. Like if you win, you win. Like give it to
yeah.
them.
Thanks for moving up. You're not
It's like,
eligible
so-
for anything.
Yeah, I have to have a smaller roster and I have smaller resources in theory
Right.
upon transitioning up, but I can't is it just an ego thing? They don't want the established teams to be like, oh no, this new move up, we don't want them to play us.
Yeah, you still lost.
I don't disagree, but the color purple is ugly, and
You're wrong
I'm okay
about
with
that.
I'm okay with them being ineligible. That doesn't matter. They'll be ineligible after we beat them too. So
that's right.
I have high hopes. I have high expectations for this team. I mean, we've only done out of conference. I think there's not a single team on this. The rest of this, there's not a single conference team on the rest of this roster that I have any fear playing anymore.
Good catch there.
Do we only have one more out of conference game?
Yes.
Yeah, LSU.
Yeah.
Although
that's our cupcake, right?
That's yeah. Well, yeah. Who does? So we have LSU the week before, like the SEC rivalry week. Who is LSU's rival? I keep on asking this question, but I never look it up.
Yeah, I don't know.
Mississippi State. I don't know.
It's probably something like that, right?
I have no idea. Is there another Louisiana school that?
Tulane.
No, it's not them.
No, it'd be an SEC team for sure. I want to say. I don't know why I'm saying Mississippi State, but I want to say Mississippi State.
I mean, just in the recent history, it feels like there's been a lot of rivalry between them and Bama, but it's Bama Tennessee, I think.
No, yeah, but they play.
Is it Alabama?
No, it's
Bama,
not.
Auburn.
Now that I looked it up, I remember this. It's Texas A&M, and I remember that being one of those forced rivalries when A&M and Missouri entered the league, and they had to
who are LSU's actual rivals?
Georgia State after this year.
Yeah, that's right. We're not playing them again, though. We're gonna always have the season series.
Right. We'll be 1-0 forever.
You can pay us $2 billion. We're not playing you.
Yeah,
no, we would.
We will play him.
We would. I'll go play him for that. I'll just put on my pads and.
That's like the whole thing is like, if you could $1 million to go one round with Mike Tyson, I'm like, I can run from him for 2.5 minutes. That's not a problem.
Yeah. Make him laugh or something.
Yeah, well, I remember actually, I don't know, you guys are a little bit younger than me, but I don't know how much you remember about young Mike Tyson, but there was a radio contest, and they said, you've got to survive one round with Mike Tyson. What do you bring? You can bring any one thing into the ring with you. What do you bring? And someone called it and said Robin Givens, which was like his ex-wife.
Just put her in front of you.
And hope he doesn't punch through her into you. Yes.
which is possible. I mean, that's a real fear.
Which is very, very, very possible. Man, we got kind of off track here. So Coastal, what else I got on Coastal? Is that it? We all agree we're winning.
Teal's ugly. They have mullets, and they're gonna lose on Thursday.
Yeah, I'm good with all that. That sounds right. Check.
We should do if we win, they should stomp on mullets in the.
Do they still? Chadwell's gone though. Do they still do mullets?
I don't. Yeah, that's a good question. Or do they have that? Ceremony they have at the end of every game.
The chain, whatever they do. They had a chainsaw for one, right? Or multiple.
Yeah. Does at Liberty, do they call Chadwell's mullet like just Jesus hair?
Oh boy,
Jesus hair from where though?
I don't know which where you're talking about, but yeah, I agree. Did you guys pay attention to any of the other conference games?
No.
This weekend?
Kinda. Maybe.
Well, so Old Dominion.
Shock, and then
yeah, they were killing it against Wake Forest, and then the Forest woke up, and so this is something. So Tim, you weren't at the watch party. I was talking to Ryan about is that Old Dominion Wake Forest game. Actually, by the end of it, I was rooting for Old Dominion, and I made some realizations about myself. while I still do not maintain that the Sun Belt's a good conference, until the money changes elsewhere, it is the best conference for us to be in.
Wow.
I don't like
That's
it.
a huge acknowledgement on your part.
I don't like
That's-
it.
Way to accept my challenge to say that on the podcast publicly. Kudos to you.
Yeah, no, I still don't like the conference. I don't think we should be in it. There's a couple of schools I like, but yeah, no, I got into it, and then I even saw on a thread on a Sunbelt board they were talking about how whenever Georgia Southern Trash Down South is playing, or sorry, when App or Trash Down South are playing some big program, how they can this other person can tell that it bothered them because they knew they had to root for their arch rival just because we're in conference. And they said, and to a lesser extent, Georgia State. And I'm like, I can honestly say I don't care who Trash Down South is playing. I cannot imagine me ever wanting them to win, period.
I mean, it was 7-7 at the half. I was like,
Yeah. Oh, about their Wisconsin game?
Yeah.
I thought they were up 14-0.
No, it was tied at the half, the 7-7.
Was it?
And then Wisconsin took off.
Yeah, I was following that game on my phone, but I was not watching any of it because I don't want to give any kind of credit to them at all. But I was very happy the way things finished off.
Oh, yeah. Your QB threw 5 interceptions. 5. Can you imagine Granger throwing 5? No.
No, I don't
think he's ever done that.
Don't speak that into existence, Tim.
He'll be fine.
Yeah, no, that was good. So it was good to see them lose. That was good. Let's see what else. James Madison beat Troy. Yeah, that's pointless.
Texas State.
We already talked about South Alabama over OK State. What did Texas State do?
They thrashed Jackson State.
Oh, I didn't even put that down on my list. Yeah. It's like Jackson State's missing primetime Dion right now.
A little bit. And some of the players, right?
See, that game got Oh, he took everybody. He took his kids. Right. Did you see that game that Colorado State game got 9.3 million views? It was the highest viewed game of the day. And it was at 10:30 o'clock. 10:30 o'clock.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Can't say I finished the whole game. I fell asleep.
I did not watch it.
I think I had it on. I think I fell asleep.
Yeah.
Sounds like me. All right. Any other games that you guys are watching this weekend? Conference games?
Probably not. Honestly, I really only care about Georgia State football, and I might watch the Georgia game.
Well,
Marshall might be.
Is there a Georgia game? I have no idea. So we don't need to do that.
Marshall's hosting Virginia Tech, and Marshall's favored by 5.5. So that one I find interesting. I mean, I'm actually a Virginia Tech fan, or peripheral-ish.
Yeah.
Peripheral Virginia Tech fan, friends that went there. And then the only Sunbelt team in a game this week that is not favored is Appy State at Wyoming. Wyoming gets a 2.5 point favor in that game.
Ooh.
Crazy.
Maybe
this is our year.
One. I bet you wins that one.
I mean, Wyoming did thrash us in the New Year's Eve bowl game, but
let's not talk about that.
Okay. Those were different teams. And Quad was also had a torn ACL, so the Quad.
I feel like we all got incredibly drunk that night, did we not? I mean, that's every night, but
we recorded a podcast that night.
Okay, that
I can only imagine the shit show that was.
You can just go back.
No, I don't want. I can't handle it. I don't like listening to myself when I'm like coherent. I don't want to hear it when I'm New Year's Eve bowl game drunk.
I don't listen to any of our podcasts. Maybe I should start so that I can maybe give some tips or something, but I don't.
Every once in a while when I'm scrolling through my my YouTube videos, will pop up and I'll click on and watch it. And sometimes it lasts for a couple of minutes. Other times I end up watching the whole thing and I'm like, that's a really good episode. I like that.
All right. Yeah. No wonder people like us.
I still know why everybody likes me. So.
People, just like generic people. There's no individuals who do, but like they're people.
Yeah, no person likes me, but people do.
People are fine. Yeah.
Our friends from across the border go play Georgia, UAB. So that's on primetime Saturday night. And then our friends up the road in Charlotte, they're headed to Florida. So let's see if they could, I don't know.
Oh,
shock
yeah,
Florida.
that's
That'd
actually
be
Have to
amazing.
have like a fist fight, and like figure it all out.
That's one of the things I wanted to talk about was Charlotte's coach after the game. Did you guys catch? I didn't watch his presser because I can't stand watching pressers. But like the quotes came out of that. Like that guy, he was like, I don't want to say he was throwing his coaches under the bus, but he was threatening to fire every single one of them.
He threw his players under the bus during
players,
during it.
coaches.
It was not. It's so messed up.
He said, "I'll be here. They won't."
and he's like, I'm gonna change up everything. So like they might just have their other quarterback in, I guess.
I love the look though. The look is strong by him. I mean, he's just like, fuck it. I don't care. I'm gonna wear whatever I want. I'm the coach.
Well, he got the early press release about the Senate changing their dress code, so he thought that that applied to coaches on field as well. So,
I mean, it did. Or whatever you want on the field. It's silly, and the fact that he's like a millionaire and does that too, like it's just like, man, you look like a homeless man.
Yeah, it was just I when I first saw it, I was pretty still boozed up when I saw the quotes come through, and so I think I had some giggling Ron Swanson gifts to reply to all the statements he had. It was got some likes on those. It was fun.
He was obviously upset.
It's obviously someone that alpha male personality that's not used to losing.
Yeah.
And he had said before the game that the Georgia State game was a must-win game for the program.
Mm-hmm,
so now you lose what you have established as a must-win game, and that type of personality doesn't handle the losing well.
Nope.
And so, yeah, it's all here for our enjoyment. Maybe I would have enjoyed that presser.
All right.
That's all I got, guys. Unless you got anything else.
Not from me.
Anything else in Georgia State sports?
I mean, the only thing that came up was they announced that the Troy game will be another night game. So we'll have Troy State will be 7 p.m. kick, which actually, if you go to there was one of the sites that I saw said at 8 o'clock, but everywhere else I see it says 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock kick for that. Marshall, we don't have a kick time for, but the homecoming schedule shows it as 12 a.m. So the early one. However, they say that they say that they'll be crowning the homecoming court at halftime at 3:30 p.m. So I guess we'll have the longest first and second quarters in football history of 12 and a half, 15 and a half hours. No, so that'll probably be noon. So no, so if they think 3:30, then we're probably looking at a 2 o'clock kick for that game. Which I think as soon as I saw the Troy was going to be a night game, I was like, we'll probably have like a 2 or 3 o'clock kick for the homecoming to be able to do all their homecoming type stuff and not be a night game. I can't imagine us having another night game. But if Marshall ends up being a night game, the following game is Trash Down South, a night game. So I can't even remember how many games that is now, 6 or 7 games. So it'll be all night to start the season.
I love it.
I don't hate it, but it's just weird.
Because we're so used to noon, right? Like early afternoon.
The 2 o'clock games. It was like 2 o'clock forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we had like that noon kick one week.
No, it happens, but yeah.
Yeah. I don't mind 2 or 3. I'll take 2 or 3 over noon any day, but especially being in the Southeast, if we're not going to be on prime time, or we're not going to be on a major channel that's going to dictate what time we play, September, October, absolutely play these games in the evening when it's cooler at night. I can tailgate during the heat all day long, but I don't want to sit in the stands baking, watching a game. We got tent coverage. We got plenty of tent coverage on the bricks.
and refreshing drinks.
Yeah, because we have refreshing drinks inside the stadium too.
But they got free refreshing drink, or much cheaper refreshing drinks outside.
Yes, prepaid
drinks outside. Yes, very good.
PBR less than $1 a beer. Sponsors.
Yeah, you get PBR sponsoring us, man.
We'll rip all their beer out.
I will take back. Tim, let's not go that far. But I will take back all my negative comments about. Or you know what? Either way, either PBR sponsors State of Atlanta, or they start throwing some money into the all blue, all NIL. One of the two. Either way.
I have a mission.
There you go.
All right. Money from PBR needs to be getting to Georgia, is what you're saying.
Pabst Blue NIL.
Blue. Yeah. I'm
Ribbon.
I'm connecting some dots. I'm preparing my sales pitch right now. It's all good.
All right, cool. All right, we'll go to last call and talk some more about our conversation with Mike and Gabe and Biff Poggi and other crap. And see if we can figure out at what time mark that Tim dropped the F-bomb that I got to edit out.
Oops.
2 weeks in a row. Woo!
Go for 3.
No, let's not do that. Thank you, everybody, for listening. We're going to go over to last call. You can find it on our Patreon page, patreon.com/State of Atlanta. Give to us first, and then the NIL, and then to the pack. Yeah. On our Patreon, you will get access to our private group chat, discounts on our merchandise, and access to the live streams of the interviews and the shows and the last calls and all that kind of fun stuff. So please consider subscribing. I think all the $3 are gone. Where it's like $5 a month and up is what we have available now, I believe. So that was a conversation starter. All right, say goodbye, guys.
Goodbye, guys.
Peace.